As we had last left it off, the party that has just passed the trials to earn their right to be a part and not be exiled from the August Monastery went to sleep with tending to the bruises of the said battle that, after taking on Suom, Grand Master of the August Monastery, did you realize that there was still quite a gap between who you are now and the potential you have yet to be. However, that night, Bellatrix seemed to have come down with something rather unwell. And by the morning, she was struggling to breathe, and with a timely greater restoration from Korgrin, you were actually able to save her life. The healers of the monastery came along and told you that she had the Strangler's Embrace, a rare virus caught usually by close proximity with primates or other such creatures from the Meltokian forest. Bellatrix will survive, but for the time being, she is out of action and unable to continue the adventure. The August Monastery has promised to look after her to the best of their ability. However, the ills and troubles of the world will not wait, and your adventure continues on. And as you stand walking towards one of the older parts of the main temple of the August Monastery, you look out into the valley around. The mist that encompasses the entire area, thanks from the gigantic waterfall that sprays the foam everywhere. The breeze is quite pleasant. Your minds do linger on Bellatrix for a little time. However, following the monk who was effectively guiding you the way, he keeps on leading you upwards and upstairs, and you lose count the amount of steps that you traverse to go up. Some of you even get a bit huffy in regards to it, and you see several older monks, like quite old, go up and down these stairs like they were nothing. Such as the skill and the constitution of the August monks. Eventually you get to the roof of the main temple, and an area that the monk designates as the inner conclave of, also known as Suom's particular dojo. You get a full view of the sky. Several heavy clouds blot the horizon, with rays of sun breaking through here and there. There are several cherry blossoms that have taken root up here, and they are in full bloom. You can see how each tree has maybe 2 or 3 monks meditating underneath one. And ahead of you on this roof is a large house, not walled off. One of the only ones you've seen that isn't. Now you've seen, travelling through the monastery, you have seen a couple of these manors, shall we say. And they themselves, whilst part of the dojo that encompasses such a school of the master's house himself is secluded. This one, seeing that it isn't, perhaps it's to symbolise how open the monastery is to people. Only a guess. Eventually you get to the entrance of the house, and the young monk, completely shaven, is there to greet you. Oh, hello, yes, I've been expecting you. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
I believe Master Suom is inside. He is expecting you.
I'll thank you again, and I suppose we head in.
Oh, sure, of course. This way, please. It leads you inside. It says, my name is Spring Contemplation. I'm one of Master Suom's newest students. I've only been part of the monastery for a number of weeks, but I feel myself changing. It's quite amazing.
It is a worthwhile cause, and he clearly has a lot to teach you.
Yes. Well, Suom has an open door policy for his students. In this house, in his dojo, we sleep here, we eat here, we train here. He hand selects each of his students. True, you could say Master River has more students who are adept at the shadows, or Master Vahan produces the finest warriors, but Grandmaster Suom says we all possess heart, which is vital for a true warrior, though I'm still new, so I don't really get it.
It's definitely true. If you cut the heart out of a true warrior, they're not going to give you any trouble anymore. The heart is definitely important.
Is that a metaphor?
No, that's a fact.
Oh. I shall think about that and see if I can rephrase it into a metaphor.
Without heart, a warrior is nothing? I don't know, trying to make a positive spin on it.
That is much more agreeable with the mind, I think. Yes, I shall speak of this to others and see what they think. Thank you.
Leave out the nice bit.
You don't have to stay outside. Please, go inside.
Why am I leading? Okay. I'm going in.
Otti's in front, and this is Otti's thing. Otti should go in first.
Which is what I was doing.
I'm going in with everyone else.
Oh.
As you walk through, there's a stone kind of floor with a large pool in the center of the building. Getting closer, you can see a number of quite rare and exotic fish swimming around in perfect harmony. You see another monk who's currently feeding said fish. He gives you a nod of respect.
I'll nod back.
Isn't bowing the polite thing?
In Meltokyo, yes.
Might be different.
This way. He slides open the doors. Verity, are you able to control your token? I have it.
Si, senor.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Do not disturb the fish, please.
Rennas, leave the fish alone.
As Arri is like reaching in to try and, like flick the water, see if the fish come to her, leans back.
Please, they are very delicate. Thank you.
See, and you blamed me, and it's Arri you've got to watch all along.
I'm already through the doors, mate. I just assumed it'd be Rennas.
I mean, they did say they were rare, which rare means valuable, so Rennas would be interested, but transporting fish is quite difficult. I don't have a tank of water on me.
Into a pocket.
I have a flask of never-ending ale. Not sure how well the fish would last in there, but it may get preserved.
If it survives, it's drunk.
Ooh, could I perception check just around here, just see if I can hear any conversations?
Go ahead.
Bonk.
You can hear the sounds of training, like people actually like fighting, sort of thing, coming from a general this direction.
Fair enough.
Verity, are you staying at the entrance of the house? Or is Roll20 screwing up for you in terms of your token? Spring Contemplation turns around and says, he's He's through here. And he sort of raps on it a little, and you hear from inside, "Enter." Just reveal. There we go. So as the slats slide open, it reveals a rather spacious office, a low-bearing table filled with scrolls, books, and other parchments of calligraphy. Sitting cross-legged on the floor is Suom, and standing beside him is River, who is currently penning a scroll. "Thank you, Spring. Go and meditate now." Suom sort of beckons you all to come in. Spring Contemplation does a sort of puts his fists together, his hand and fist together, nods his head, and sort of backs away, allowing all of you to enter.
Thank you very much.
Please make yourselves comfortable. My thanks for you for coming.
I look round for anywhere to sit at all when he says make yourself comfortable, and just stand.
No, there's nowhere to sit. There's a pillow that's the one that's sitting on, but that's it.
I will unelegantly just down on the floor, just boom.
It's actually
I'm not helping you up.
It's surprisingly more comfortable than you were expecting. It's not like pure laminate floors. Like there's a bit of kind of cushioning.
It's a givenness. I like it. You've got a good eye for wood. You do, Suom.
Thank you.
Make of that what you will.
You may have noticed on the way up here that most of the monastery knows of you now. It's not every day that a group of strangers turn up and make short work of our hallowed trials. But we all know that you are not just strangers, are you?
So I take Melody's journal out of the bag and I put it on the table. And I just like put my hand on it. I'm like, no.
No? What is this?
This is Melody Fortis's journal from last time she came and she did this journey.
Melody. Ah, yes. Melody and her company. I remember her. She was special. So resolute in her mission. She earned her place here. She earned the right to the secrets of the monastery. I had hoped I would see her again, but that was many years ago. What became of her?
Do you really want to know?
I do.
The party that she was with, they went to the capital and there was some sort of betrayal that happened. I have the journal for them. She ended up in a cage inside the capital, and she was basically killed and then brought back.
That's awful.
Mm.
Who would have done such a thing?
The ones who asked you to give us them. Us to them.
Aye, the king and his left hand.
That is a very heavy accusation.
You
So
have the evidence in front of you. I gestured to the journal. Sorry.
I turn it to the back page and the very last line on there, and I point it out and I say, You want to read it? Go for it.
Yes. I remember Talion. Never showed his face. I didn't inquire as to reason why. I was always on guard around him. Did not trust his nature, but gave him the benefit of the doubt. They carried a shard, you see. Piece of Argoneth. I assumed he had spent too much time in its presence, and it clouded his judgment. They said they were going to leave it here, but they never did. Ah. I think I just figured out what happened to it. She was right.
Could I insight River to see how she's kind of reacting to all this?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Who was right?
A friend of mine.
She's got a face.
Suom's presence is just so overbearing at the moment. There's like a heavy gravity in the room, and you just can't seem to take your eyes off of him for now. Well, I have been informed of your friend's illness. Rest assured she can stay for as long as she needs to recover.
That is Melody's
What's-
daughter, if you're not aware.
Then I will provide her with every bit of treatment that she needs to ensure that she will survive. Rest assured that the capital will not touch you here. You are safe in this place.
That is appreciated.
Fortunately, I
Now-
don't think we can stay, though.
I do not think so either. Rumors have reached my ears, you see. There was so much said that I wish to hear it directly from your mouths. And you told me truthfully. Like the August soul. So, a rebellion against the capital, the city heavily damaged, and rumors of revolution spreading across the land. At the center of it, you people. Not many even believe if you are real. The rumors practically say you appeared from nowhere to lead the charge against the injustices of the knights and fix the corruption of the land. I even received a report that one of our finer monks was bested in Dumas Arena by this group.
Would we know who he's referring to?
Make a with
Hi.
Arri's keen mind.
Hi! Just the same as you were saying about going up the stairs and getting lost. I'm like, no, I wouldn't. Soz.
You do remember somebody who fought with the skill of a monk, though you only now can connect the dots. That person was Bang of the Silent Sisters.
And I just go,
That was
oh, bang!
I believe that was Korgrin's
Yeah.
nemesis for a little while.
No. Haha. One of the Silent Sisters, can't remember which. Rachel? Or something like that?
So much hearsay, so much speculation. But in our bout yesterday, I believe I have sorted fact from fiction. I understand your fear and your want to protect yourselves, but I will give you the warm welcome of Sanctuary. The capital cannot touch you here. Or at least, they can't without starting a real civil war by violating the ancient treaties. The world is right to fear the August monks. We do not shy away from a challenge that can't be ignored.
Do
And
you
what-
guys...
Um,
Go on.
What about the threat of Argoneth?
What about it?
If you know as much as you know, you know. Wait. If you know as much as I think that you know that we need to sort that out.
Well, I have a good idea of who you are. The resemblances are easier to see up close, especially you, young man, and he points towards you, Rennas. I believe my path has crossed your clan on more than one generation. You can
Seems like my
breathe
dad
easy.
made many friends.
Did ye... What happened to Sliver?
Sliver? I ask, with a little confused face.
It was his pet snake.
This is the first I'm hearing of his pet snake. I never knew my father, unfortunately. I have learned much about him on this journey, but I have not heard of his pet snake before.
Well, I enjoyed the snake. I hope it is okay.
Was it a venomous snake?
No. So it never bit me, so I never found out.
Just in my head, I'm
Oh.
wondering if that's why he kept a snake around for extra venom.
It would hold things for him on occasion. It was very
That's a well-trained snake.
Anyway, you can breathe easy, each one of you. Yet I do not believe your grandparents were traitors. And even if they were, I would not hold you accountable for their actions. The capital has no power in my monastery. But before we continue this any further, since we are on this topic, there is somebody I would like you to meet. River. Get him, please. River says, right away. And she scoots past all of you to go out of the door that you are walking past.
If you'd like as well, I can cast a spell, Zone of Truth, so that you know that what we're saying is true. I don't know if that would put you at ease.
No, it's not that. If you were to lie, I would be able to tell.
That spell requires great mental strength to overcome it, so I would definitely succumb to it.
I think we all
Well,
would,
whenever,
would willingly anyway.
I know.
Well, whenever a person lies or tells something that they know is not the truth, you can read it in their body, the slightest muscle fractions, the smallest of twitches, the slighting of eyes. Once you are trained well enough, you can read a lie like a book.
I've been
Sorry.
trying, but this one lies a lot, and he's got many pages. I point generally at Rennas.
That sounds like a very useful skill. You seem to have
There
many
is
useful skills.
There is a difference between lying and subverting the truth for a goal.
Yeah,
So,
Korgrin.
whilst we are waiting on River, you said that this would be a sanctuary for us. I don't suppose
Yes.
there are any direct portals to the temple?
There is something that may be of interest to you,
I
but
would
in due
appreciate.
course.
I would appreciate it. Thank you. Anywhere we can get quickly and easily, the best.
Mm.
Especially if what half you've heard is true.
Yes.
You did train Bang very well, though. She was definitely.
She was not my student. She was Vihan's student.
That would explain why she lacked them.
Vihan trains exceptional warriors. Don't get me wrong, my first master and I, we bicker a lot, but we want what is best for the monastery, both of us.
The way Bang fought and the way Vahan seems too much on the side of aggression, whereas you seem a lot more balanced. And I think that's where both their downfalls are. They give in to their anger and upset a bit too easy.
Hey.
Vahan is... He values tradition. We have our ways of doing things here, and they have worked for us for a long time. He does not appreciate it when I divert away from him. However, if he was not utterly committed to the protection of Mount Tokyo, to the training of new students, and for the continuation of our ways, he would not be my first master.
Tradition has its place, but a wise leader knows when to let it go.
Indeed. And this is something he knows to do. He is simply a conscience of mine. He reminds me of what it means to be a monk when I am clouded in my visions. And in return, I remind him what it's like to be a footing mentor. His results speak for himself. Every time that a warrior overcomes some great feat of strength or skill, it is usually because Vihan has had a step along the way. I would urge you to not hold Vihan's actions against him. He is passionate. He is not ill-informed. He is not unwise. He is simply passionate.
I hold no
At
ill
that,
will. All my negative emotions are to one man.
Just Korgrin.
And at that, the slats open up again, and River comes in, escorting an individual. Fiona, would you like to describe what Russ looks like, please?
Right. So Russ is a half-elf male. He's around 27 years old, but looks considerably younger. He's quite short, maybe 5'5" or so, and very slender. Dark hair, usually quite long to cover his ears, quite dark eyes, and usually found with a sword in hand.
So step in. Suom looks at you, Russ, and he says, Russ, thank you for coming. I wanted to introduce you to these people.
So you said.
I believe in destiny, and yours are intertwined. He looks back, towards the party. Says, River has informed me that you travelled with one of our own for a short time. An old student of mine, Wicker.
He's my cousin.
Yes. Albeit they never met.
How far removed? Like I was a gnome. Like this is a halfling saying this with a human sister, but you know.
As far as we know, not far removed, but...
Marcus himself was elven. He had several descendants by various species. However, as River has informed me, Wicker is no longer with us. That means Russ here is the last of two living descendants of Marcus.
Two?
Yes.
I also have a brother, Ruber.
Russ, these individuals possess great strength and unity, but something else bonds them. They are descendant of the same group of knights that Marcus belonged to. Destiny has shown its path to me It is meant to be. Whilst you are here in the monastery, I would like you to travel with these people, guide them. And in return, for all of you, I would like Russ to learn from you about who he is, what he's meant to do.
Do you not trust us here? Is that why you need eyes watching us?
What is it
This
with
is
leaders
not
of
that.
organizations giving us guides?
Who are you calling a guide?
Oh, apparently, according to Suom, you're a guide. First, we end up with a. Why is it always half elves as well? And why is it always half elves with dark hair and dark eyes?
Because half elves are the best. Leave us alone.
Like, it's fine. Like, Suom, I trust you. You noticed something was wrong with Talion before anyone else. It's just, it seems we get to a conversation with someone high up in an organization and we end up with a half elf tag along.
I don't like this any more than you do.
Nor did the last one. He's still alive, just so you are aware. He had other business to take care of, which is why he's no longer with us. Like, we don't, you know.
But everyone knows that special offer throughout the kingdom. You know, speak to an organisation, get a free half-elf. That's how it works.
That's a shitty deal. I want no part of it. Do you have a devil inside of you as well? Because so far we're 1 for 2, and I'm not going for 2 for 3.
River is stifling a chuckle at this point. Suom's just blank-faced.
That is a point. You're not a warlock, are you?
I
Cool. We have another half-elf warlock.
Well, if your patron, like you're the only person who's ever met this patron, knows this patron, no one else has ever heard of it, and if it looks a lot like you when you're dead, stop following it. It's bad news.
If it happens to go by something, you know, like the Watcher or the Observer or, you know, the Man Who Sees, please reconsider the dynamic in the relationship.
You have nothing to worry about.
Who is your patron?
I would like to insight the fuck out of that.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
So,
Russ,
such
go
a
ahead,
trusting people.
go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Sick.
Plus 12. Fuck! Fuck!
So,
Even worse!
Korgrin, this Russ, you can't get a very good read on him. He seems...
Oh, he's very hard to read.
Kill him now, it's Talion again! I had my eyes on the last half-elf. I've got my eyes on him.
Did you say Talion?
Unfortunately.
Edgar Talion.
Unfortunately.
You know him, and I look very suspiciously.
I don't know him, but my brother associates with him. That's why I left.
Unfortunate.
Definitely.
Do you
Can't say
happen
all.
to have any ill will towards your brother? You know, just on the off chance we encounter them. I don't know why.
My brother and I get on well. Me and Edgar, not so much.
If your brother sides with Edgar, and we cannot turn him from that path, then things may not go well if we meet him.
I'm willing to take that risk.
So, Suom, you said you wanted to know everything, correct? The truth from our mouths?
Yes.
Do you trust
However,
the company
just-
that you hold?
I do. Russ, to make it official, I release my hold on you and give you to these people. To all of you, yesterday, when I gave you the opportunity to fight in the arena, to undergo the trials, rest assured that I was doing a favor for you. To return that favor, I require you to protect Russ And Russ, for all the hospitality I have shown towards you, I require you to protect them.
Yeah,
It is true. It is true that you are wanted for a foul purpose. It is also true that I must think of Meltokio and the August Monastery first. It is not safe for you to stay here, but after seeing what these people could do yesterday, I fully believe you'll be safe with them.
is it wise to keep us all in one place, though?
There are other things at work here, things that even I cannot begin to comprehend.
If we are all together, it is less external people we have to trust. Not necessarily trust you yet, but, I'll get there.
We're stronger together as well. I assume you fight.
I do.
Well, I hope you're good with that sword. Unfortunately, I feel like we may need it.
And unfortunately, from experience, spreading thin, far and wide, it offers no comforts or safety.
Well, I also want to take this opportunity to apologize if I hurt any of you yesterday. I could not be seen to be held back. I do have tradition and rules to uphold, matters that have been relevant here since before my time. But by shedding my blood, you proved your worth and have gained the right of respect, and the right to know the secrets of our monastery. It is why my first master was so upset. As Grand Master, I was the only one with authority to grant you access to that trial. It is seen as a rite of passage in the monks. Many masters trained for decades to overcome the trials to gain access to the old secrets. So your passing has caused something of an uproar. I believe accusations of cheating circulated. This is why we fought. None can challenge your skill when you were able to deal me an actual wound, for none in the monastery would brave the challenge. I believe Russ will be a fine addition to your skills. I believe he'll be able to complement you in ways in which you are lacking. And Russ, I believe your weaknesses, and you have many, as we all do, will be covered by these people here.
I would like to return the apology for hurting you. I am sure that you have taken much worse wounds in your life, but it was not the favourite part of my day, stabbing you with my dagger. I half expected you to block it at the last minute, and once I was there, it was too late to stop it.
Well, that actually did hurt. I will be honest.
I very much apologise. Having seen...
Fortunately, I have trained my body to resist all manners of poisons.
Having seen you catch the arrow that Arrabella fired at you, I couldn't believe I'd have got through your defences. That was an impressive little trick. I would love to learn how to do that one day.
If you wish
I would
to learn.
apologise, but I know I didn't hit you.
Well, if any of you wish to learn the ways of the monks, you are welcome to stay, so that I may give you a brief lesson.
If I am alive past all of this, I would love to return and train. However, I feel I'm needed elsewhere at the moment.
Don't worry, you've died twice, and I've saved you twice.
Well, now that that business is out of the way, we can discuss freely. A river here has been declared worthy, which is why she is counsel to me when my first master is not. He passed the trials without issue, true, but he was not declared worthy by... He sort of trails off a bit. The one who grants it. It is a source of imbalance within him, one he trains to overcome.
Hold it.
This is a question for Jack. Do you want us to actually say everything that's happened, or have you already looped in Fiona, or
I've given her the brief rundown. Effectively, Russ is aware that there was a rebellion in the capital and that you guys started it,
No, we didn't.
or at least were heavily involved in it.
We just got him. Yeah.
Other than that, the actual large nature. Right. So Fiona as a player knows a few things. Russ as a character does not really know much. So
no, that was fair. Just obviously we've done a lot, so I just wanted to know how much you want us to actually say, because this is like 6 months worth of actual gameplay that we would just be digest that.
I mean, can I just point out that we were actually all locked up in prison when the rebellion started? It was definitely not our fault. We may have joined in and helped it work, but we definitely did not start it.
Then I stand corrected.
And I'm quite happy for my character to hit the ground running, try and pick up as much as I can going along the way, and with Fiona's knowledge, my character will hopefully ask the right questions. And yeah,
There are no wrong answers. There are no wrong questions.
Does anyone want to volunteer for talking? Do we want to take it in turns, or
I don't even know where to begin.
I was thinking of starting in Brine.
Oh, do you
Maybe
remember
even
that?
Oakenheath.
6 months ago, when the worst problem I had was whose pocket I was going to pick next.
How I was going to arrest Rennas.
Yeah, and how I was going to avoid Otti arresting me for the 15th time that bloody week. It was just they were the days.
And I just, pestered Bliss trying to get Verity out.
Fair Verity's point is a fair one.
Well, I'll give you all the time you need to talk amongst yourselves, get to know each other, eventually trust each other, I'm sure. However, your grandparents, they were involved with this Argoneth. And I'm aware that there are factions in this world trying to bring Argoneth back. I have had my suspicions that it was a rogue faction of knights. I've contemplated what you told me yesterday, and I'm fairly certain I figured out what I needed to figure out. So I must ask you, as the keys to Argoneth, each and every one of you, including you, Russ, what are you going to do?
Stop the
We
fucker.
can.
Kill Talion, kill the king, kill anyone else that worships Argoneth, ride off into the sunset happy as Larry.
At
So
the
you
moment,
aim to start a revolution.
At the moment, we're still
do
in
not
planning
s-
stages. Like, at the moment, we are aware that there's going to be a massive fight. We're seeing what we can get on our side. We're seeing how we can actually stand up to this. We're looking a way to remove the winter curse from Jairus Jakai and see how we can use that to our advantage. We're looking for allies because we're expecting a rebellion, I guess.
Rebellion's already started, that's where you're wrong. It started, we're just catching up with it.
Mm.
We're trying
I
to
don't-
get more on our side. We're trying to get
Yeah.
resources, allies, places to go, people that we know are safe, etc., etc. Go on, Rennas, what were you going to say?
I'm just going to say I don't really see another outcome to this. I don't see a way of preventing Argoneth to come to being without deposing the king. I don't see a way of deposing the king without revolution. I don't see anyone else stepping up volunteering to start one. So, well, I know it's already started, but to continue one.
Very important clarification as well. You mentioned a shard of Argoneth. Aye, the king wears it as jewellery. So, if you're considering the council of the king in any kind of diplomatic matters, loop Argoneth into that as well, just as a heads up.
I believe you. Despite the tall taleness of it all, I do believe you.
It's almost too unbelievable to be a lie.
Did you ever meet or see our grandparents?
I can give you a first-hand account of what
I
they were
reach
like.
behind me or into the bag of holding, and I pull out just Kane's staff and just, unfortunately, not told tale. Just put it back away.
If you wish to know your grandparents, I'm happy to tell you I met them several times throughout the war.
We know very little about them. We have learned a little bit about our parents on this travel, but our grandparents, it's still mostly shrouded in mystery. We still don't really know what happened.
Do you know what happened?
I do not.
Hmm.
I don't believe what was told to me. I do not believe they killed Raziel. I believe there was something else. Despite all the evidence contradicted them, they never once confirmed or denied what they did. They never even tried to resist all the way up to the executioner's block. They said nothing even when they hanged by the neck.
I see no reason to hide things from you. We have learnt that they did indeed kill him. We do not know why.
We can
I
only
believe
assume
there
for
was
good reason.
a good reason for it, but
You kind of just see a shadow just kind of go over his face momentarily, almost as if he kind of withdraws into his psyche. But half a second goes by, and he comes out of it and goes, that is very hard to understand for me. I knew them
for us also.
were good, honest people.
I believe there must have been a reason why it happened. What that reason is, I do not know, but I have faith in my grandparents that they were also, as you say, good people.
Oh. You are the grandson of Lorandir, are you not?
I am, and from what little I've learnt about him, he was a lovely, upstanding citizen of virtue.
He was one who stuck to the shadows. I admired his willingness to do what needed to be done with such efficiency. Miranda would often leave camp after some demon or foe of some kind had stunted our progress, and he came back the next day with its head and not so much as a scratch on him. I could see his hand and blade was stained with the blood of many foes, yet when I looked at him, never sensed a killer. No maliciousness, no enjoyment, not even happiness when he was cheered for his actions. Yet he never struck me as a man who lingered a deep sadness. I could tell. To him, it was something that simply needed to be done, and he could do it.
Unfortunately, there is no shortage of people that deserve to die in this world.
I also remember how hygienic he was. He often cleaned his hands.
I look down at the dirt under my fingernails. Guess that doesn't run in the family.
Do you have any questions specifically for us? I mean, what do you actually want to hear our tale, or is there a pressing matter at hand that you feel we
Well,
are needed for?
I wish to help you, but it is not entirely up to me. If you intend to make sure that Argonef never returns, and if you intend to rage this rebellion against the king, I am prepared to offer my support and the support of the August Monastery. However, the Guardian must declare you worthy.
Now, at what point do we just start predicting things? Because obviously we know what's in Melody's journal.
Yeah, yes you do.
So, are you talking about the Can I? Thank you. Flick through the pages. An Ahsoka? Is that who you refer to?
You know a Shoska?
I mean, turn to the page. Just It's kind of written.
Melody, you big-mouthed fool. She wasn't supposed to... What else is she written in here? He actually grabs the book from you.
Oh, right, okay, oh, sorry. Just, yeah, by all means, yeah, get up to speed with events.
Okay.
That summarizes a lot.
I am very disappointed in Melody. She was not supposed to write this stuff. Now that you know, I must insist that you meet Ashoska. She must declare you worthy, or else she may try to kill all of us. She is aware that the secret of the Truth Gate has gotten out. There will be consequences.
Now, is Ashoska the dragon or something else?
Oh, the dragon is Eurus the Chained. Is our prisoner.
Okay.
Is the one who makes our crops grow. We take his poison and we purify it.
That's why
It
he's
is
immune to poison, Rennas. It's the green dragon.
Well, most of the elder masters have an immunity to this poison, thanks to the dragon. Though the dragon himself is mainly under the Han's jurisdiction.
Why have I got a bad feeling about that?
You should not have a bad feeling about that. The dragon is subdued, and Vahan keeps him that way.
That doesn't seem very balanced and fair. Like, how much suffering must this dragon endure?
He is fed, and he is contained.
He is a prisoner and subdued. You just said so yourself. Would you care for such a life?
I understand that you're coming out. The angle you're coming from. True, he is a sentient being. His own thoughts, his own feelings, his own wants and his own needs. However, when those wants and needs equate to the pure destruction of every innocent individual from here to Vorod, then I have no qualms with keeping such an individual prisoner and utilized for the greater good, whether or not it insists to it.
If he has done such wrongs, then he deserves to die. Nobody deserves to be kept, broken, beaten, and confined. I have seen my own people kept in that manner, and I will not have it for anyone else.
We do not beat him. He's simply chained. This is why he is called Eurus the Chained.
So what subdued him if he is not beaten?
Remember, Rennas, the very first day we came here, and the guard in Meltokyo said not to question others' cultures because it's quite rude. Well, unfortunately, we're in someone else's culture right now, and it's either live and be kept prisoner and have all your needs met, or be put down by the 17th, the 36th adventuring party that happens to stumble across your lair.
I would choose death, as I would choose to give death to any beast I believed deserved it. But you are right, I apologise, Master. I will not question your ways.
Colour?
Green.
Green.
Young Master Half-Elf, may I present this to you? Suppose that you have a dagger, worn and rusted. This dagger is worn and rusted, and is likely to never be used effectively again. Would you throw this dagger away?
No, I would restore it. Does that mean you believe there is hope for this dragon?
I believe that it has a use. This dragon is a tool to be used. It is
I
a
thank-
dangerous.
I thank you for taking the time to explain to me.
Oh,
Are we tools as well?
no.
Sentient beings that have our use.
What use do you believe I have of?
It's just a question.
Well, then I would present this to you. If you were to tell me today that you were aiming to release Argonef to bring chaos and destruction on this world, regardless of who your grandparents were, regardless of who your parents were, I would stop you. Just as I stopped Yaris.
But why is it you do not make any actions yourselves when we tell you that that is the goal of the king and Edgar?
Because it is not up to me.
But if we were doing it,
Namely,
you'd stop us.
because it is a very clear threat in front of me.
I feel
We
we're
are-
being lost in the
We are
pedantics
going
of
around
it.
in circles of hypotheticals. Namely, we do have a dragon called Yaris. He is chained. He feeds Maltokio. He provides great medicines. He is utilized in a way that benefits the lives of everyone. Lives he would seek to destroy. I feel no regret about what I do to him.
And that's fair enough, you have your reasons. So, Shoska, what's she, if not a dragon?
She is something she will reveal to you if she so desires.
Well, that's fair enough. Can't really argue with that.
I will take you to her if you desire.
I feel we need her approval. No, you said so yourself.
That is simply part of the journey. We must also petition the Meltokian Council.
I see.
We must
Why?
have their approval if we are to do war. If we are to rise up our arms in active rebellion against the crown, we cannot do it on ourselves. We must have all of the Meltokian lands join us.
Is that where we journey to next? Or do we meet the Shoska first and then, with her approval, her word would help sway the council? I'm unsure of what the next steps are, really.
The approval from Oshoska will give you a better understanding of a great many things. It will also give me the right to leave this monastery.
Like, for good? Or just temporarily?
Temporarily, of course.
Okay.
Now, we do discuss a little bit rather serious terms. If there's anything will you wish to ask, including that of your grandparents, ask.
How well did you know Eleanor?
He looks at you, Verity. She was a fine woman.
I start to take the portrait I got from the house out of the bag and just like unravel it across the table. Just like right in front of him, just ravel it on top of all the books and stuff. And I point to the little girl in the picture and I say, well, I believe that is my mother. And I'm watching his face now.
Make an insight check.
Yep, that's going to go poorly.
Would you like assistance? Because I'm also staring into his eyes.
That is an 8.
You have rolled poorly.
No, I just keep it as is.
Does not. He stares at it for a little while. Looks up towards you. Looks towards the rest of you. And he says, I'll take you all to the Guardian if that's what you desire, but before we do that, looks back to you, Verity. Otti, may I have a word? Private.
So I start ravelling up the painting and put it back in the bag, and I hold my hand out for Melody's journal as well.
He gives it to you.
I stick that back in the bag, and I was like, certainly. I look back at Korgrin, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
big bag.
I'd look over at Otti for confirmation before I leave, but as soon as she says it's okay, then yeah, I'd walk out.
I was
Or
going
I'd go
to
wherever we're guided.
say I didn't actually hear what Otti said, so I couldn't tell you whatever response
Alright,
you
it was
wanted
like,
to-
just give me 1 minute.
Fair enough. I think there are some fish that I'd like to see. Thank you.
Ritha looks like she's about to stay, but Suom just gives us a look, and she's like, oh, me too, okay. And she goes to leave as well.
Are there any drinks, River, that you could perhaps provide? It was a long walk up those steps. I'd certainly mind. I wouldn't mind a sit down, and we can fill in Russ in the meantime.
Do you want me to hold
water.
the sedative? Do you want me to hold the sedative this time?
Preferably.
She laughs like awkwardly a bit.
I do not join in with the laughing.
Russ, do you go with these people?
Yeah. I
Okay.
probably don't really have much better to do, so I'll do what they say.
Okay. So everybody leaves the room and the slats close behind. Even the birds chirping out there. It's like breeze coming through the room. You take up a seat on the other side of Suom's table, Otti.
Yeah, I'll probably sit on the floor.
Otti, I think that is I mean to say hello. You look strong, healthy. That is good. Do you have a balanced meal? Variety in food leads to the balanced mind.
We grew up in Oakenheath. I was a guard in Oakenheath, and I was part of the guards. And my father was the head of the guards. And growing up, we did okay, if that's what you mean.
I'm not sure how to say this, but I think you know. At least, I think you think you know. I'm rambling.
Yeah,
You're
the journals gave me a lot of information that I didn't know before. I'm under the impression that that Eleanor gave birth to Orien here with you. That is what
And-
is disclosed in the journals.
And your mother was Orienne, right?
Yes.
Well, Orienne was my daughter. That would make me your grandfather.
Based on the journals and based on the knowledge that we've had, I came to that conclusion as well. Shut up. However, my concern is that regardless of everything that I feel personally, regardless if you knew we existed, regardless of all of that, regardless of what happened and when it happened and why it happened, is to make sure that no one else knows. Unfortunately, the one person who I wish didn't know does know, and that puts you in danger. And yes, I've read books. Oh, yes, you're so amazing and strong, but you are still destructible. We all are.
Just kind of stares at you for a bit, taking in everything. I thank you for the concern. I do not deserve it, but thank you. You know, we've met before, long ago. You were very young. Once, when you had just been born, and again, you started taking steps. Did you know that?
Nope. Didn't even know you existed until a few weeks ago.
Your father never said anything.
Please. He was a bloody drunk.
I'm not surprised Norad ever mentioned to me. Orion and I had a complicated relationship. When she was exiled, I tried to overturn it. I petitioned King Dumar again and again, said she could live with me in the monastery. She declined, however. It's because when I focused on the war, she was left behind. And when she went to live in the capital, I did not go with her. I was Grand Master. I could not abandon my duties, my students. I chose to stay here, in Tokyo, when she left, with her mother, Eleanor.
Don't blame her for how she reacted, because when I first read the journal, I was kind of pissed that I didn't know you existed. I'm not surprised now I understand more of it. But do you know what? You could have been really fucking helpful, and you weren't. And no one can change the past. But as I said, I grew up. I took up at 15. I had to join the guards. NORAD
Did you
wouldn't
do
do
well
anything.
in the guard?
Yeah, I did well in the guards. I did absolutely amazingly in the guards.
Good. good to have a sense of justice. Why did you leave Oakenheath?
Because it was burnt to the ground. Because
Actually
everyone
looks
that
surprised from that.
we don't know if half of our family survived or didn't survive.
I'm sorry I wasn't there.
It's a little bit late for that, unfortunately. And I hope that we can count on you, and I hope that you can help us. Because you've put yourself in the firing line now, because you've found out about us. We're in this
Yes.
together now, and I hope that we can work together and we can get through this.
It seems that history is doomed to repeat. A rift was created between me and Arri, and that I do not wish a rift to be between, because that rift with Arri never did heal. We both tried, but she could not forget being left alone for so long. Being more than Eleanor. I visited as much as she would allow. We spoke often by letter. Things were slowly but surely getting better. But then that illness kind of trails off for a bit. I wanted to come, but Nora had said it was best you did not know of me. Said it would confuse you. I respected his right as a father, but I always kept this. And he reaches inside one of his trousers pockets. He pulls out a small little picture, kind of a sketch even, so of a baby Half-Orc. This is the only thing I ever knew of you. Reaches up and you can see there's a small little locket, like tiny little locket around his neck. He just kind of clutches that a bit. Otti, I know you must have experienced so much anger, so much pain, just because of Orien. But in this whole journey that has brought you to me, I was not there to help. If I could have, I would. But my responsibilities, my position, all I can do is humbly apologize.
And unfortunately, I am my father's daughter, and it's going to take some time to wrap my head around everything. And I stand up and I say, this conversation isn't over. This isn't the door shutting. This is me needing to hit something really hard with a very big sword, and just kind of walk out the room.
He watches you go. He doesn't say anything. He just sighs. For the rest of you, what have you guys been up to?
Saying hello to Russ. Lovely to see another fellow half-elf.
One
Doesn't
that
look
is
wasted and emaciated from slavery in the capital.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably trying to learn a bit about these guys. Not being too enthusiastic and curious, but just trying to pick bits and pieces up about who they are, what they do.
Well, feel free to introduce your characters to Russ.
The
Well,
monk's
I'll-
still in the room, by the way. Those two that are there. Unless we had like a private tea room, I don't really know if we did.
River's there. You want her to go with them?
Oh no, it was
She'll
literally
tell
just
them to go.
those two. That was all. Just to kind of
Oh.
gauge level of conversation, basically.
Well, one of them's spring contemplation, who is currently meditating. The other one is just focusing on the fish, really.
Fair. Floor's yours, guys.
I'll just introduce myself and say my name is Rennas. I've been partying with this bunch of reprobates for a while now. Since our home was burned down, things have been a little bit rough. Life's got a little bit hectic over the last few months, but always good to see a new face. Hopefully one I can trust. I look a little bit suspicious because, not a very trusting person, having been evilly betrayed. Someone we kind of trusted.
At least we can see all of his face. That makes a change. And Suom trusts him. Oh, I'm Arrabella, by the way, and a 3'9" halfling kind of just jumps up and goes to shake your hand. You're not quite
Moves up,
short
doesn't get
as
any
me,
taller.
but you are. I hit Rennas when he makes the short joke, and
Rennas is expecting it.
I praise Russ. Like, he's not as short, but at least he's not as tall as the taller members of the party. So I'm seeing a bit more
Are
of
you
width
heightist or
there.
something?
No, it's more that I'm still trying to relate a gnome who is shorter than me to a half elf and seeing them as cousins.
It's a really awkward, like, Christmas get-together, just this variation of family members. So, Grandad, you got around.
What was he the night of? Death and, disciples.
Death.
Prayer and death.
Okay.
Some breeding.
I was going to say death and breeding. Death and life. Perfect. Anyway, yeah, so I introduced myself to Russ. And I was just like, we've been through some shit. I'm sorry if it takes me a while to get up to you. I say this, and it's going to sound harsh. I don't mean it in a really nasty way. But if you ever intentionally attack any single one of my party, I swear to God, I will shove an arrow down your throat. Okay? I'm glad we got that.
I realize I'm gonna have to earn your trust, just like you'll have to earn mine.
And I get that.
But it sounds like we're on the same side here, or at least we have the same interests.
From the sounds of things, hopefully it gets proven. Especially now that Bella's ill. We can use a bit of extra help.
I mean, it comes on the high recommendation of Suom, after all, and he seems rather trusting, and he's trusted us since the very first day, so I think we can at least owe him that. Korgrin, Bravebeard, 4'5", beach kind of blonde hair dwarf, bright blue eyes, all of it kind of ritualistically, intricately combed, unlike kind of traditional dwarves. It's all very free-flowing, kind of goes over the head and flows back down the back. If it's any consolation, you got a much warmer greeting than I did on meeting that one. Bit rabid.
You have to bear in mind, our town had just burnt down, and it was by guys in armor, and then a guy in armor appears in these caves we just escaped into. I'm gonna put my arrow at him. At least I didn't fire it. Could have been worse.
Aye, that. It took a wee bit of conversation for the arrow to leave the bow, but the bow stayed in the hand for a wee bit longer.
I eventually put it away.
Exactly when you went to sleep.
If Russ had been here and you fired an arrow at him, he'd have probably just bloody caught it. Don't know how they do that.
Maybe he has the missile grabbing gloves.
I don't think Russ is monk. I don't get monkey kind of vibes from him.
Why else would they be at a monastery? Surely everyone here is a monk. I don't understand.
I picked a fight with these monks. Sun came to regret that. But I was trained by Vihan. I've been hanging around here, learning what I can.
Oh, the fact that you sound like you're an idiot, just, that endears me to you. Picking a fight with monks. How many?
That was a dig on my accent. Like, the fact that you sound like an idiot, I'm like, oh.
No, that was me talking to Russ. Arrabella talking to Russ.
Let's just say I had some frustration that I had to take out, and picking monks as my target was not the wisest.
How many, though?
Just one to start.
How many did it end up as?
3 or 4. The last being Suom.
Oh, nice.
Is it nice? You did that thing and Rennas just fell over.
It means he can hold his own. So that's good for me. And it means that he's an idiot because he chose to pick some fights with monks at the August Monastery, so...
Also true.
It started off as a bar fight. I was just made my way to the monastery later.
Verity, say hello.
Are
you still blue, Verity?
blue.
Yeah.
So half in advance, I don't know. Verity's just been looking around at the stuff in this place. Just pull out and say, speaking of pent up frustration, hi. You see about definitely no taller than 5 foot. Human, but they are blue with choppy short hair. She has glasses on and just magic user robes. And a broom strapped to her back. Because I am the nicer version of that one. Pointing to Arrabella. My name is Verity.
Version of.
She's also a lot more powerful. She's my younger sister. She hasn't been littler than me anyway.
Not your little
for a
sister.
very long time. But she shoots spells, I shoot arrows. That is our gig.
Magic. Oh, I'm also warlock. My dude's name is Steve. He's really cool.
Haven't heard about Steve, but can't wait to find out.
He is great. Terrible at answering questions, but really good with the healing.
He grew my pinky back. I kind of wiggle the pinky in a gauntlet. No, it's not a euphemism. I mean, literally, I grabbed into a ball of white light, which I probably shouldn't have, and got singed off. And then a unicorn appeared and went, "You look like you need that back." And he gave it back.
Spicy magic.
Spicy magic.
Sounds like that'll be useful.
You'd think until a garister busts in out of the middle of nowhere.
During a fight with the dragon.
I just watched it.
Didn't you see it beat the shit out of what's his name? That's it, Vectra.
Which we would have done.
Wrestle in midair.
Oh, we're on a dragon's hit list as well, by the way.
True.
We're on a lot of hit lists.
Also true.
Yeah, you are. I'm not yet.
Yeah.
Just by association, I feel
you'll get
kind
seen
of
with us.
doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll maybe hang a few feet back.
Saying that, mind, I wouldn't actually be surprised if you are on one. Because if he knew about our blood, he almost definitely knows about yours.
Didn't he make some mention of being wanted? It was
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if your brother is with him, I'm sure he knows a lot. Surely.
I didn't know about my own blood until Suom told me, so.
You said you've met Edgar, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you
Just a
ever
rough
try,
imitation
like...
of his voice, just for clarity.
My brother really practically worships him, and that led us to grow apart. Never saw the appeal in the guy, to be honest.
Definitely blood brother. No way he could be like a secret half brother, which would make Edgar mad. And then, wrong kind of blood in him or anything like that.
Tragically, I witnessed his birth myself.
Ew.
Tragically.
You probably didn't witness your birth, so
True.
question still stands.
I mean, you didn't witness his conception, though, so could be a different dad.
No, I did too. No, I didn't. No.
It goes back to years of counselling.
Okay. Well, what did you say your brother's name was again?
Ruber.
We didn't see anyone like that in the council, did we?
He's recently was ordained a knight of the Holy Order. Ruber Arbor.
Holy schmoly, it's more of a cult, I think.
There's a lot of them.
And they offered it to me, for God's sake.
But you got it from a nice knight, not a dick knight.
Mm.
Yeah, but if they're going to make me a knight, then it's clearly not all that holy. That's my point.
True. Very true.
To be fair, they're knights that support Argonath. They're clearly not that holy.
So true.
Yeah, I suppose supporting Argoneth is slightly worse than sponsoring me.
Yeah.
I retract
Some
my statement.
people see fanaticism as righteous and holy, but, depends on who you're a fanatic for, I guess. Oh, Moradin! He's the right kind of guy.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, who's your patron, Russ?
I've not seen him. I've seen a fog. I call him Cracks.
You call your patron Cracks?
It's not his name. I forget the full name.
That's I'm gonna... Yeah. One of them, please.
What are you inciting?
The scene and the name.
Can I also incite the name when she's like, that's all I can remember?
Yeah.
Good.
Rennas is just like magic shit,
Well,
don't care.
I assume that's not an advantage thing because it's something that I'm doing as myself, yeah?
Yes.
Yes. Arri, you can't really tell. I mean, not heard the name before. Korgrin.
Oh no, like her, whether she can remember it is what I'm inciting. Because she's like, oh, Cracks, that's what I call him because I can't remember his name. Him.
With that score, not so much. Korgrin, I would say Russ knows. You get the feeling that Russ has only just met you and is still testing the waters. Yes, you can, Verity.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I was gonna ask for a history. I know it looks like I'm piggybacking, but I was gonna ask for a history myself too.
You've not heard of it, Verity. You can go ahead and make a history check, please, Korgrin.
Thank you. Hey, that was pretty good. I like that. I like that number.
You peel your mind, and you feel as if you have heard the name somewhere. Something to do with the Shadow Realm.
Nah.
Look, I see all you guys being suspicious. He helps me with, providing power, but it's mostly goes into my blades. Nothing too sinister.
Again, just the last guy we know had a very intimate relationship with a patron. Was kind of fucky. Not gonna lie.
So, I only met Krax a few months ago. I'm keeping an eye on him myself. If I'm prepared to, keep my distance if I get concerned. For now, it's beneficial.
Fair enough. I mean, you seem all there, so it's a work in progress, we'll say. How about that? Splendid. Better already.
At this point, you guys see Otti kind of almost not storm, but like step very heavily into the area that you guys are currently standing in.
Can we go now?
Do we even know where we're going? I mean, are we
Anywhere
going to
with
see
a
this dragon, or
Big thing that I can go and kick.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go.
well, you've been here a little while? Where's the best place to go and punch things?
Russ, like there are plenty of training dummies just outside of the house where people can train. That's a place to go punch things.
All right. Well, I'll look at Otti and say, I know a place. Follow me. And I'll just lead her out and kind of keep my distance a bit because she seems a bit fired up. And I'll just kind of like gesture towards the dummy looking things and be like, take her away.
Everybody stand back!
And it is basically me just beating the shit out of this mannequin and just like crying and kicking it and just crying and just pulling it apart.
Oh. And a furious display of her half-orcish side. She goes to town on this fucking dummy, and it only lasts like 30 seconds before it's just a pile of kindling and hay.
Is one enough? Do you need another?
One should be fine for now. It's just been a bad day. It's been a really horrible day. That's all. I just come back in and just not sulk, but I'm kind of like I'm pissed off. I'm in the bag. I'm just gonna just
Yeah, Suom can be a bit unpleasant, can't he? Clearly misreading the situation.
just cries a little bit more. It's just been really tough, that's all. Come on, let's go do something else.
Are we going to see a dragon, or just the person that keeps a dragon hostage?
Ixnay on the Ragan say?
We're off to see a shark.
Dragon?
No.
A Shoshka of unknown identity. We don't really know what she is.
Exactly, and also I don't know how widespread this information is supposed to be in a room filled with other people.
Well, I mean, the monks that live here, they should, if we've been given information within getting here 5 minutes that they haven't been given here, having been here.
We went
Okay,
through
for 2 weeks.
super duper trial.
That's why that's at that point River just kind of like walks past you and just kind of whispers in your ear. She does it. That's why a lot of people are pissed off.
Okay, shushing.
Yeah. Read the room.
So we gonna go see this person then, or?
I think Suom needs to take us, but also I feel like Otti has had her daily dose of Suom. I don't really know. That's up to Otti, I think.
No, we can go and see whatever we need to see.
I might say I could ask Vihan if you'd like. I'm sure he knows the way too.
I don't think he'd take us. But thanks.
Sorry.
Like, he'd probably lead us to a, what are they called? You know, the pits in castles. Wait, you fall to the bottom and you never get out.
Alright, you guys are less chummy with Vihan than I am then.
Oubliette! He'll take us to an oubliette.
He does not like us. He thinks we're knobheads.
It's probably something to do along the lines with, us being granted knowledge and access and blah, blah, blah that we haven't earned in his eyes because we haven't spent 15 years punching dummies and kicking each other in the dick.
To be fair, I've been doing that for 15 years, so there's no excuse for it.
Ah, but you didn't do it with wisdom, young Padawan.
Wisdom's overrated.
Wisdom is so overrated.
That's so rude. I feel personally attacked.
I didn't say Korgrin was overrated. I deliberately do not say he's not.
Oh, I just saw a
Witnessed.
starfish cat.
It's alright, he's walking about.
That's cool.
Scared the crap out of me, that was really loud.
We didn't hear a bit of it.
No, just
Damn.
saw a starfish.
Yep. I approve.
The beauty of push to talk.
Well, I guess we go back and speak to Suom then.
I'll speak to Suom. You guys maybe hang back with Otti and follow us. Yeah.
Like the cut of your jib.
Okay. So, Russ heads back to Suom, leaving the rest of you guys in the fish area. And as you go up to the door, Russ, you can see it's still slightly ajar from where Otti had left it. Do you go in? What do you do?
I'll do a quick knock, but not really waiting for a response, and I'll just peek around the door.
As you peek around the door, you can just sort of see Suom sort of sitting there, and he just kind of just does this motion with his face and just looks up to you. Russ, what is it?
Me and my newfound party are considering proving ourselves to a Shoshka. We were hoping that you or someone you know could lead us.
I will take you. Do you wish to go now?
Sure. Maybe steer clear of Otti. She's a bit... I don't know what you said to her, but I don't know her, but she doesn't look good.
It is of no concern of yours.
Good.
Very well. We shall go. And with that, he stands up. Bloods walks across the room, out into the corridor, leads the way into the fish area. Once he gets there, the two minor monks, the Spring Contemplation and the Fish Monk, they immediately drop to the ground and sort of prostrate somewhat before him. He goes, "Get up," and they immediately do so. He says, "Go outside and train." They do so. They rush off without any word.
No, Zach, you can't.
What did he say? Phew. He looks towards the rest of you and says, River, can I leave things in your capable hands as I escort them below? Yes, no worries, of course. If Vihan comes by, what do I say to him? Tell him to go back to his dojo until I'm ready to deal with him. He's not gonna like that. I don't give a damn. Okay. She goes off. This round to rest and says, Are you ready to go back are you ready to go to a Shoska now?
Yes, that would be most appreciated.
Very well. Follow me. And he leaves the house back into the open roof-like dojo monastery with the various paths and patches of like well-kept grass and the cherry blossoms. And he leads you downwards. And you follow him for the better part of about 45-50 minutes.
During that time,
Yep.
could we have been just mentioning briefly journey between Oakenheath and Jarashtakai?
Yeah, of course. Is that
If he
maybe
wants
for
to
Russ or
listen.
for him? he's
Well,
listening.
both. For both. Assuming there's, we don't, if there are other monks, obviously, like, change conversation or something like that. But if for the most part we're clear there and down, may as well.
Along the way, probably about halfway through, just the architecture kind of changes to a little bit more ancient, a little bit more elvish, even. And seeing some of the curious looks on this, he does say, the elves who used to inhabit this place, they built this place to last. There was certainly a lot of help from your people, Master Dwarf. But they built something below, in the catacombs. This is where my friend acts as guardian. We're nearly there. He continues on his way. Is there anything you guys would like to talk about, RP, on the way down?
I'm relatively happy for now.
I mean, unless Russ has any questions for the party, or if we have any questions for us.
No, I'd say that I'd probably be quite apprehensive of meeting a Shoshka right now. I'm kind of prepping myself mentally for that.
Fair. Obviously, we don't really have any idea of what that kind of implication or the weight of that really has.
It's a name to me.
Yeah. Makes sense.
If it's what comes after the monks, like...
True. Someone that Suom holds to a higher standard, then yeah, makes sense.
We don't know if a Shoshka's a person or a being, or it could be anything.
A Rakshasa.
Shoska the Rakshasa. Beautiful.
Yep.
Love it.
Makes sense to me.
Do you
Just
really think I would?
Will he look like Arri again?
Yes, you would 100%
Yes,
do that,
absolutely.
Jack. That is very you.
You have not forgotten the months of betrayal, Jack.
Yeah.
It wasn't me who betrayed you.
You wrote
Sure,
this damn
most.
story.
You guys walked in there. You made the decision. I'm just saying. Okay. So, onwards and onwards, downwards you go. And eventually the air kind of changes a little bit. Something a little bit more colder and wet. You can hear the sound of water nearby. You get the feeling that the rushing water from the waterfall quite a ways away, probably you're either traveling underneath a river or beside it or something, or maybe it's just like funneled through a specific area that's kind of just echoes here, but you get the feeling that you're very close to a large source of water. And on the way, Suom kind of travels backwards and walks beside you, Korgrin. And he says, "That staff you showed me earlier, was that Kane's?"
I found it accompanying a remnant of his soul.
He had something similar to that when I met him. A replica of some kind.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was destroyed during the final battle with Argoneth.
Hmm.
I know that much, but it was surprising to see you see it. I remember Kane. He was a leader. Predator dwarves everywhere. Do you seek to be like him?
Yes and no. I see he put his duty well above his family, and it was only towards the end that he really realized how much he had missed out on. He attempted to reach out, I think, to those that he had loved and lost, or loved and left behind. Whereas for me, this whole venture began for family. So I aspire to be like him, but I do not aspire to be him, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense to me. You know, if you wish to be like him, he was prepared to make the tough decisions war required of him. Do a few civilians need to die in order to break an enemy's army? He would make that decision again and again. I did not think he was unfeeling. I just think he rose to the standards of war to match the depravity of the demon lord of madness. But he cared, and he listened, I know that much. It was the support of the other knights that kept him from going too far. Their grandparents.
To an extent, I'm inclined to agree. However, I do feel that where possible, if given the choice between choosing a greater and a lesser evil, to not choose at all and come with a better way, that there has to be something, there has to be compromise. At the end of the day, if we give in to these dark necessities, albeit to save the land, have we not lost a little bit of ourselves along the way to do so? Have we not given up a bit of what we fight for, the standards we hold?
Speak of faith. Shines through you.
This thing doesn't help kind of just knock and clang the armor. It's a bit shiny. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I thank you.
Thank you.
You've given me hope. That's from the blood of Cain. One can rise above such power. Garner hope. Hope for a better tomorrow.
It's what we fight for at the end of the day.
That he kind of continues onwards, kind of leading the group, but he lags behind again to get beside you, Russ. He says to you, I hope you are keeping up.
Keeping up with what?
With everything. Your world has changed very quickly. Anyone could break under that pressure.
I wouldn't say I feel the pressure. It's my life in the army with Ruber was much of the same for so many years, and now it's all changing, but honestly, I welcome the change. It grew old. It's since coming to the monastery and learning about my blood, my ancestry. It's a lot, sure, but I welcome what's to come in a way. Perhaps it will help me. I don't know.
I think it will. You know, Marcus was a man of many faces. He understood the kind and caring nature of a healer. Yet, he also understood the necessity of death. He was prepared to give both at a moment's notice. I remember he made his fame before joining the Knights as a lich hunter. When I was around him, I felt shame. Like the war I was a part of was ugly and sinful. He did not even have to say a word. It was as if the gods answered for him sometimes. He always knew the moral path to take, even when the right answer wasn't clear. I hope you possess that same skill.
And see, before I met you, I didn't even know of Marcus. All I was told is that I was not to return to my mother's land. And that was it. I already feel a certain weight off my chest, off my mind, from knowing who he was.
A weight burdened is a weight shared. Think of that. Continues on ahead. He continues onwards until eventually the you come to a much more open-like area. There's a massive golden adorned bridge that rushes over one of the rivers that shoots from the waterfall downwards and splits into so many different directions. And ahead of you is a massive shrine. You can see inside has got a spiral staircase. We are near now. This is called Ashoskus Bridge. Please treat it as if it was part of her extension. He looks around a little bit, just kind of takes a deep breath. And those of you who are close to the edge, you can see the water ripple inwards and outwards. Inwards and outwards. Almost as if his very breath is controlling the flow of the water. It's been a while since I've come down here. As the party kind of progresses along, Suom looks back at you again, Otti. Do you match his gaze?
For a second, and then just check on Arrabella. I'm stood next to her to make sure she's okay.
He also kind of looks away a bit, looking a little. If embarrassed was possible for him, he feels that. As the party continues across this bridge, he kind of sticks off a little, and he walks beside Verity, and he says to you, Verity, I have to know, I have been across the world, I have fought many foes. I have learned many secrets of this land, but...
And you consider me your greatest foe yet. Wise choice, man.
No, I just wish to know why you are blue.
Oh. Spicy magic. Although I did want to have a conversation with you after this whole thing. Maybe. I don't know. You might be helpful. I don't know.
What would you like to talk about?
Like, hard to explain, but like, you guys, you started off, like, from what I've heard about you monks, you started off using magic, but then you kind of did something and made it all internal, and now you use something called ki, right?
That is correct,
And it's
yes.
all energy in you. Like,
yes.
Is there a way to kind of reverse engineer that? Or like do the opposite?
If there was, I would not know.
Ugh.
Maybe the old monks who created the monastery would be of better assistance, but they died a long time ago.
And how together are their corpses?
I have no idea. I will be absolutely honest. Perhaps you could pay a visit to their statues. Maybe that will provide the insight you seek.
Maybe. That's all, really.
You know, you look like Grace a little.
I guess that is because I am Grace a little. Hey!
Indeed. Though where you sported blue hair, she sported pink. Or, well, blue skin, she sported pink hair. She was very different from you, however.
Yeah, I met her. She was alright. I mean, my sister had to step into the void.
The what?
Yeah, in Greenfold, there's this whole, like, dark rift thing. Super scary. Her glaive was there holding it together. I think it's still holding it together now, and it would be really neat if we could get it, but I don't know how to fix it yet. But yeah, my sister had to step into the void in order to fix something. It was really upsetting. I was traumatized. And then, like, Grace just popped up and she was like, hey, y'all got any questions? And I was like, fuck you!
I see.
Grandparents, am I right?
It is a thankless task, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Oh. She was always an eloquent lady whenever I met her. She was always an inspiration of bravery. Always volunteering for the most dangerous missions, so that others did not have to.
That sounds more like my sister.
Oh. To be fair, you remind me more of Ballad. I liked Ballad. She was full of life and energy, always singing or playing when the troops needed it. I do not mind admitting I fell for her pranks on more than one occasion.
Ballad sounds cool.
Well, just being around her would be enough to be happier. She often cared for soldiers in their last hours, or spent an afternoon repairing the house of one displaced by the war. I always felt like there was something else to her. like somebody was watching over her. She told jokes, often bad ones, and she loved to draw. The
See,
more she
that
liked
doesn't
you,
sound like me. My jokes are all great.
well, maybe it depends on how much she liked you. The more she liked you, the more inventive her creativity would be. Though she was an author too. Have you ever written anything? If you're speaking, Verity, I can't hear you.
No, I haven't written anything. Like, I was actually genuinely trying to remember. It's like, has Verity canonically written anything?
Drawn some great
I don't know.
pictures.
You've got your ritual book.
Yeah, that's mostly for spells. And, like,
Right.
you know, my whole group love triangle web bullshit. Yes.
Love Fiona's face then.
That's accurate.
It's like if you require an entire book for a love triangle web, I'm worried.
Well, no, that's just more kind of like doodles in the margins. Like, you know, I try to do my spells, but it's really boring, and these guys are so awkward around each other sometimes. It's really quite funny.
You know, Elle had asked me if she could feature me in a sequel to a book of hers once.
No!
How I felt about being exposed for inspiration. I declined her offer.
I'm so glad Bella's not here.
Well, we are nearly here. I must ask you, do not try to hide what you are. Be honest with yourselves. For Shoska will know. With that, inside and begins descending down the steps. It's kind of like a spiral stone case with various strange pictographs that kind of tell a story of ancient elves that built this place to understand a great unknown. Their future, their past, their present, everything that they tried to contemplate. And the further you descend, the more it seems as if that story held truth behind it. By the end, you can see that they had learned of a way to get what they desired. A form of truth. Journey one must take. Not one that apparently one ever would always return from. As you even out, you can see ahead of you there is a kind of like a large and long stone corridor with several lit lanterns on the side, and ahead of you is a large jade door, pure jade, almost made of like stone. Glows green with golden ingots in it.
I should stand and stare for a second or two.
Shoska lies within. Are you ready?
I'm sorry, but you didn't clarify. Do we have to fight a Shoshka? Do we have to... How scared should we be?
I do not know. Shoska is her own person. She will
Fair.
look at you, and she will determine your worth. If she determines you aren't, then you will not be able to proceed past this door. If she determines that you are, then you will see her.
Well, then I'll say I am ready.
A normal approach to us is just be prepared to fight everything. There's many people in this world that hate us. It wouldn't be far wrong to assume that everyone wants to kill us. If we're wrong, it's a pleasant surprise.
And if they don't, generally we insult them and, question their morals, their goals, etc., until they want to fight us. So...
Or they're just of a certain race, so Korgrin just jumps out and just starts killing them randomly because he's a bit of a racist.
Or of a hellish descent.
Those of you who believe themselves worthy, place your hand upon the door and push.
Just do the swing on the feet. Yep. Looks like we're going.
Squeeze
Suom
Oti's
steps
hand.
aside. Suom's waiting for you guys.
Together?
I'll look up at Otti and I'll be like, I was there when we were talking to the ogre, and I'm not sure if this is something that applies here, or if he was even talking truth. But if he was, I think that this may be a door that's only for you.
I can't see any eggs around here. I'm sure it's for all of us. And go through the door.
Okay. So Otti, you go up to the door and place your hand on it and go to push. The rest of you just kind of see Otti disappear.
Oh, no point waiting. And I'll go up.
Yep,
Do the
I'll
same.
follow Otti.
Okay. So one by one, you all go up, place your hands upon the door. You all feel that tingling sensation wash over your body. You all disappear from the spot and lose sight of each other. Darkness. All-encompassing. You do not know where you are. You do not know when you are. You all feel a voice creep into your minds. Are you worthy? Or are you afraid? Do you seek balance or discord? Harmony or turmoil? Show me. Show me. Verity. You open your eyes and find yourself standing in a purple forest with an odd glow ahead of you. You can hear the sounds of odd bird calls and strange, insect calls. And then you hear some rustling in the bushes behind you. You turn and you see two people there. Your uncle calls out to you. Verity!
Look.
We've been searching a long time for you. You need to come back. Your aunt calls out to you. I have been more than patient. I have been more than understanding. But You have gone too far with this. We need you back, Verity. Now!
Yeah, sure, because last time I saw you, I heard about you there and you were off the wagon. Like, solid plan, you guys. Let me just go and get my stuff. I'll be right back. Like, start to back away.
As you go to step away, you feel almost as if the ground is like a treadmill, or even just balls. Like you step, but you don't move anywhere. They seem to be moving closer and closer towards you. Verity, we are in danger. We have asked for your help and you have abandoned us. It is enough. Stop playing around. These childish games of yours must come to an end. You have a purpose and you will serve it.
I think I seem to be serving my purpose quite fine without you guys. Thank you. No, if you could just... I'm just trying harder to move away now. I'm just like...
After everything I have given to you, the very clothes on your back, you would still deny me? What have I ever done to you? What have we ever done to you? All your magic, all your knowledge comes from me apparently wasting my time. And all of those afternoons, those evenings trying to teach you, right back in my face. We should have taken Arrabella, had she been more inclined to this kind of privilege, this kind of wealth. And they say together, she would be better at this than you.
First off, ouch. And secondly, she's more of a brat than I am, so I highly doubt you would have any more luck with her. Thirdly, I don't get my magic from you. I'm just amazing by myself. Okay? My time without you, and I point to Bliss, and I'm just like, I can freaking make my dolls dance now. I can turn things to sand and throw balls of freaking fire at shit. And you were just a boring politician. You never even wanted to talk to me before this. Pointing to Theron now. So I don't get why you're all obsessed with me now.
Be a good girl and come home.
I think you both know I would never be a good girl. And now I try and get on my broom and try to fly away. Just willing
Your broom is not there. However, by thinking about it very hard, it manifests in your hands. You jump on your broom and you fly away. Vroom. And as they watch, they just scowl.
Okay, now can I kind of insight this whole situation? Because obviously I was with everyone and now I'm by myself with my aunt and uncle.
As soon as you leave the tree line, your vision goes dark.
Nope. I'm blind.
Arrabella, you find yourself waking up in this forest. It's dark, but there's a slight purplish hue to it all. I don't really understand what it means. You sort of get your bearings a little. You hear a slight cackle. Fancy meeting you here.
You.
Look to your side. See the man you hate most in this world step out. Me. So, alone, at last, whatever are we going to do?
The Arrabella is fully aware that she can't kill him by herself.
What's the matter, Arri?
You have
So
no right.
caught up in the moment.
I reach back behind me to grab my oath bow.
It's not there.
I search for any of my weapons.
They're not there. Poor little Arri, all on your little lonesome, just like Henry. No, he screamed like a little girl. It wasn't just him that we got, it was his sisters too.
Did you get anything out of him? Did you get your sick pleasure from torturing people that you didn't even know? For a perceived connection that you thought I may have?
That reaction, yes, I did.
You're a disgusting creature.
Yes, you may think
Perverted.
that. You may think that. However, I am the good guy. You are the evil one.
You're trying to unleash a beast onto the world. A
And
beast
you
that got
kill
sealed
anyone who you
away.
disagree with. How are we any different?
No, I don't kill anyone I disagree with. If I did, I don't think anyone in my party would be alive.
Oh, I'm
Except
fairly
Otti.
certain.
I'm
I'm
a
fairly
bit too
certain
scared to
Mayor
disagree with
Edgecombe would
Otti.
disagree with that.
Weirdly, I didn't disagree with him.
You
Or
still
at least we
killed
didn't
him.
have a verbal disagreement. It was my job.
And it was
and I
my
regret
job
it.
to kill Henry.
And I regret killing Edgecombe. Do you regret killing Henry? Do you regret
I
killing
do.
anyone? Do you regret lying to us and leading us along for so long? Do you regret having us locked in a cell? I bet you regret having us actually locked in a cell instead of just killing us straight away. Because now we're out from your clutches again. We're free. We're growing. We're getting allies, and we will destroy you. And I really, really do hope that I see you just before you die.
You know it's all pointless. You know you can't win. However, there is another way. Do
We'll
you
win.
remember? Night before you betrayed your friends to me?
I didn't betray them.
You think you didn't, but you did, and you know you did.
I don't
My
think
offer still stands.
like I would go anywhere with you.
Why not?
Because
You
you
know
don't
you
deserve
love
to
me.
walk this plane. I don't love you.
You know you do.
I hate you. I hate you with
I bet.
every single inch of my being. I want you dead. I want you off this plane. I don't even want you in the Nine Hells. I want you just gone.
Arri, you don't know what hate is.
I'm pretty certain I do.
Well then, if you think hate is all there is, then we are the same. But if
We
you
could
think
very
you're
well
better
be.
than me,
Oh,
if you think that you are above me, then take this. And he chucks you a dagger, and it lands by your feet, and plunge it into my heart. Show me your hate. Show me we are precisely the same.
we're not the same. And as much as I would love to kill you right here, right now, I wouldn't want to take the satisfaction from my friends either. You've hurt every single one of us. And every single one of us deserves to land a blow on you. To make you suffer the way that you have made us suffer. To see you torn apart, piece by piece. So thank you for the dagger. I will keep this. But I'm still going to end you with the bow. Just not today. Those woods are too pretty to mar it with your blood.
You will regret that. Your vision goes dark. Korgrin, you wake up in a purplish hue forest. It's warm, yet solemn. You have to blink a few times before your eyes truly adjust. It feels nothing like home. However, you do hear a slight coughing, rustling of bushes. Turn around and you see 3 individuals. One whom you only have seen through pictures, the other 2 you know quite, well, reasonably well. Travok says to you and says, "Cousin, good to see ya." Booker says, "Hi, Korgrin. Glad you could come." Kaya says, "It's good to see you, Master Dwarf. Glad you're here."
Oh there, friends and family. Strange place to meet you in a magical
Yes.
purple abandoned forest. No.
Stranger things have happened, I'm sure. Remember when I went into the life tree? That was a weird day, wasn't it?
Teensy bit. I don't think any of us really anticipated what was going to happen there. Are you well? At least.
Oh, I'm not. Neither am I, actually, cousin. Neither
Oh.
am I. That's the issue, though, isn't it? What do you think connects us, Korgrin? What do you think connects us all, my cousin?
You're all dead.
Aye, we are. Why do you think we're dead?
So I couldn't help you in time.
That's right. You couldn't get to me. And I threw my life away for nothing. I tried to protect my friends, and they skewered for me for it. I tried to protect my friends. I was going to save the life tree. Yet, the one person who was quite literally a scion of life and energy let me go. You vowed that you would bring me back. You let me die. You let me freeze. Then you let the necromancers deal with me. You let my brother get me. Why did you do that to me? Why did you do that to me? Why did you do that to me?
And as they kind of ask that, Korgrin would go up to each one of them and just like hand on arm, just no, I've not failed you, Melchiah. I haven't broken my vow. I'm still getting stronger. I can still bring you back.
Oh,
Wicked, you're not gone. We saw you in the life tree. You're still with us. You're not.
and guess who
with
you
us,
brought
with
to
us.
the life tree?
I know who we
What
brought.
do you think? What do you think he did after you guys went through that portal?
I don't know. I truly don't know.
And you never bothered to go find out, knowing what he did. You were in the ice caves and you just didn't even consider me.
Sorry, Vicar. I know I let you down.
But where's my
Travok.
special attention?
Malkaya,
You're willing to bring these people back, but not even me? Don't even think of me anymore, cousin.
I've lost everyone, Travok. And I'm planning to bring on all of them back. I just need time, man. I'm sorry.
You're gonna have to,
Just need more time.
Cousin. You have to face the facts. You can't. You're too weak. You're powerless.
That's where you're
Marden
wrong.
Well, with Marden, you are skilled, but if Marden turned his back on you, who would you be? What would you have? Probably just be like me, a hermit in the mountains, with nothing.
And that would be when Korgrin would stamp the ground and just... Then I'd find another. I will be strong enough. I will
And what
bring
if
you
there
back.
isn't another? What if there is no other way?
Then I will spill my blood on the floor, and I will plead to whatever god or being will hear me. I will find a way. I give you that. Haven't forgotten any of you.
Do you promise?
I swear.
I hope we can trust you to save us this time. I hope you can trust to save me. Cousin, I'm not dead. That your vision goes black. That was the wrong thing to do. I got rid of you all. Should have went on the GM layer. Aha. Rennas. Your vision comes to this purple-like forest. But it's odd, you can hear screaming in the background. People in pain. As you get up and look around, you see someone who you do not want to see. Someone whom you have done pain on before. Reason for all these screams. His large, fat, overly adorned outfit, balding head, stupid mustache. So, you're the guy that did me in. Was it worth it? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy
never about
finding me out?
fun.
You know, I was getting what was due to me. I was getting precisely what I was owed. Why'd you
You're
take
right,
that?
you got exactly what you're owed.
Oh, and what did little Lucy? What did you owe little Lucy? What did you owe little Timmy? What did you owe all them people that died because of what you did?
They died in a riot fighting for freedom rather than dying alone, huddling for warmth, starving in the streets after you stole what little food we could bring them.
What freedom did you think they could have? They were peasants, and they were starving. They didn't have weapons. They didn't even have bows like you. That you can feed yourself. They were nothing. They were worse than the piles of dog shit that I let my kennels fucking deal with.
Every single person that died in that riot outlived you, you fat waste of fucking space.
But they would have lived a lot longer if you hadn't gotten involved. You killed them. You killed every single one of them. You may not have swung the sword, and you may not have shot the bows at them, but they're all dead because of you. Do you feel nothing for them?
Of course I do. I feel a lot for them, but I feel nothing for you. You think you're better than them just because you happen to be born at the right place at the right time. You are scum.
Oh, I am better than
proved
them.
it to everyone.
Doesn't matter, though. You thought my life was equal to all of theirs. You traded my life for theirs. So, by your own admission, you're telling me that my life is worth 400, 500 of them peasants. That was the trade that you did.
It was your guards and your world and your corruption that killed those peasants. All I did was stop you from stealing their food.
And they died anyway. Congratulations. Well done.
That was
Are
not
you
my
proud of
intention.
yourself?
That was never my intention. Of course I'm not proud of myself. You did not deserve to live, and you certainly did not deserve their food.
And what have you done to make up for it?
Well, a lot of the half-elves escaped. Fought
And
to
what
get them
about the
through.
regular? And what about the humans and the
Anyone who
half-orcs?
wanted to come with us was welcome, and always will be welcome. I will do whatever I
Well,
can to get anyone out of
they
the clutches.
They couldn't come with you, could they? Because they were dead. You took that decision away from them, Rennas. What have you done to make it up for those people? What about their families that are still alive? What about their friends that'll never get to see them again? Did you even learn any of their names?
No, I did not.
And you still think you're a good person?
I never said I was a good person. Better person than you, but not a good person.
At least I remember the names.
You didn't know any of their names. They were just fucking cattle to you.
And what were they to you?
Unfortunate accidents.
And how many
Unintended
more
consequences.
unfortunate- How many more unintended consequences will there be in the future?
How many people have died under your watch? How many people would have died? Yes, I caused a riot. Many died. Quickly. And all in one go. So it looks bad when 400 people die in one go. But I'm sure thousands of people died in your district because you kept all the food, all the warmth, all the supplies for yourself. It didn't look like you could have afforded to miss a few meals.
Hey,
I think it would have hurt you.
did you not go to the Skyhold district? Did you not see that every single noble person there was exactly the same as me? What did you think you changed with my death?
Yours, nothing. I won't stop at yours. I intend to kill every single person in that Skyhold district. Every single noble who thinks the peasants below him are scum, who aren't worth his time, and that thinks that they can just take the food from their mouths. Not happening. Hasn't happened yet. I will go back there. Things will change.
Finally. I think that's the first honest thing you said to me.
Actually, honest quite a lot. Just no one ever believes me.
Are you ever honest to yourself? And with that,
Try not to ask myself any questions.
your vision goes dark. Russ, you find yourself waking up. Strange woods. Never seen anything quite like this before. There is a weird feeling about it. Something that you can't quite put your finger on it. And that's when you feel a clasp on your shoulder. You look to your side. See a familiar face. Russ!
Rhubarb, is that you?
Aye. Where have you been, my bro?
You sent me away, if you'll recall.
Oh, you walked away. I didn't want you to go. I wanted to protect you.
Well, we agreed to disagree.
Russ, you've never been as skillful and as strong as I am. I've always looked out for you, and you've always looked out for me when I couldn't take care of things. We were complement of each other. We were brothers. And you walked away from that.
We
Do you know how
are
much you
brothers.
hurt me? You hurt me, Russ. You stabbed me right in the heart. Are you even sorry?
The way I see it, you chose to join the Knights. You chose to worship
Yes.
Edgar Talion.
It's because he is going to make a better life for us. Did you not ever think that maybe, just maybe, our lives would be better outside of the military? Outside of the freezing cold, fighting against them damn frost giants every other day?
You didn't even let me fight.
Because I didn't want you to get hurt. It's too bad you didn't show the same courtesy to me.
Who hurt you?
You did. When you walked away and turned your back on me. After everything I'd done for you.
I always planned to come back when you came to your senses.
But my senses are clear. I just wanted what was best for us. You just want what's best for yourself.
That's not true. You know there's a greater...
You know it's true. You know it's true. You know it is. You walked away. You made some pact with some fucking creature called the Hoarder of Death. Who in their sane mind would do such a thing? I would have done everything for you. I would have protected you. And yet you still turned your back on me. Why? What did I ever do to make you hate me so much?
I don't hate you, Ruber. I just didn't have the same beliefs you did.
If you don't hate me, then why did you abandon me to him? You know precisely full well what he's gone and done to me. You know it, but you don't want to think about it, do you?
It's the first time I'm hearing you say anything negative about Edgar.
You know why he made me a knight, right? You know why he took an interest in us, right?
I know now, but I could not have known at the time.
But you knew something was wrong. You should have tried harder. You should have tried to convince me more. I was your brother. I would have listened to you.
Well, it's not too late. Is it?
You tell me. Will you give up on me?
I feel Edgar is not gonna be far out of my sight. I'll be back your way. I'm still on your side, brother.
We'll see what happens when that day comes, then. That vision goes black, Russ. Otti, you've been watching these visions happen before you, and every single time you've tried to reach out and call to them, interact with them in any way, you've phased through them. They haven't seen you or heard you or anything. But you've seen each of your companions wake up in this forest and speak with some kind of apparition. You sort of shut your eyes tight. And when you open them again, who do you think you see?
Probably either Norad or Bella.
Just that. Your father is before you. Otti. My sweet, beautiful Otti. Why did you violate me? Why did you turn your back on me? I told you you were safe inside the village. I told you to do as you were told. But no, you left me. You left me to die. And what's worse is that I died happy in the knowledge that you were going to uphold justice. And then I learned you turned your back on that. You stopped being a guard and you start being a vagabond. You start being a mercenary. You start being everything I didn't want you to be. You know how much these people hate us just for being what we are? You were the guiding light that was going to prove them wrong. Now what are you?
Am I? I'm a sibling. I have my family here. Yes, I might have walked away from being a guard, but I never walked away from being a good person. I never walked away from our heritage. I never walked away from anything that we did. That is still in me. Being a half-orc is still in me. Everything is still in me.
Does family mean that much to you?
You did.
Family is family, Otti. We ain't got much of them left.
No, we don't have much of them left. In fact, I have hardly any left.
So
I'm still
why
gonna
did
make
you walk away from him?
From who?
From your grandfather, Otti. Why'd you walk away from him?
Because I needed time to think and process what he'd done. You did not tell me what happened. You did not tell me what was going on.
I didn't want to hurt you. What do you think you would have done if you had found out that your grandfather, hero of Windwood, left your mum to die? You were dealing with so much anger, Otti. I was afraid you were going to pick up your axe, march across Windwood, and sink it into his skull.
Probably would have thought about it. But
Just
being a guard means that I would never do anything to hurt anyone like that.
nothing at all.
There
You
would have
don't
been.
want to hurt people.
I want to prove to everyone, like you proved to Oakenheath, that we are not bad, that we are not aggressive, horrible monsters, and you're doing it right now. Do you know we've actually got some half-orcs on our side? Do you know that we've got the Hawktooths? They came to join us. We convinced them to come and fight with us. And that is how the world should be.
I see. You've grown up so much, Otti. Will you ever remember me? Now that you're so far ahead.
Can I ever forget you?
'Cause you never tried to look for me. You never tried to get me back. You gave up on me, Otti. You left me dead in your heart so long ago.
It's not true.
You know it
Unfortunately,
is.
that's not true. Unfortunately, I had no choice but to do with your physical body, and maybe one day there will be a way of getting you back. But at the moment, I can't do it. I don't know what to do it.
That is. I am afraid. If you don't know what to do, then all I can say is listen and learn. So strong, Otti. So protective. But you need to learn. What are you? Are you an unstoppable force of rage? Or are you an immovable object of love?
With that, your vision goes black. You all hear a voice creep into your minds. Your nature defines you. To admit to who we are, that is a strength. To seek forgiveness for what we've done, that is strength. To understand when things are not right and wish to do things about it, that is strength. I deem you all worthy. You may come and see. You all open your eyes, and you find yourself standing in something akin to a very small wooded area, but it is clearly inside a building. Behind you is the Jade Door. Around you are trees. You can see over to your left there is a small little oasis. Ahead of you is some steps that lead up onto kind of like a viewing altar. There are pillars that mark the edge of the rooms, and underneath them, up against the walls, are various items encased in glass or just put on display. There are murals overhead of elven lineage. On the ground itself is a very strange looking teleportation circle. And on an altar just beyond that, draped with flowers and ivy, are a pair of gauntlets that seem to resonate with a reddish-like glow. You can see Suom standing beside these gauntlets, looking at them. He turns toward you. says, "May I present Shuska?" And the darkened part of the room extends in light. You see a large creature, feline in nature, with large wings on their back. Big headdress over the head, face of a lion. This creature is a sphinx. Welcome to the inner sanctum.
Why is it always our deepest thoughts, concerns, general things niggling at the back of our mind? And just Korgrin just wiping away, like, welled up eyes and tears. Just, not again, please.
I mean,
There are
why are we
some
surrounded by glowing skulls?
Don't know what you guys are talking about. And Verity's just kind of like holding onto the broom, hog style, like floating there.
There are some creatures in the world that would utilize the talents of the mind in an effort to destroy it, to subvert it, to break it.
We've
There are
gone up
some,
against them.
I sense that. However, there are some who would use that purely to gather the measure of those that would come. As is before, I deem you worthy for willing to take on your pasts, not running from them, accepting them, promising upon them, facing them. There are some who cannot manage that.
So what now? If we are deemed worthy, it is a pleasure to meet you. But where do we go from here?
You seek allies in a fight.
We do.
Not just allies are required, but power as well. There are some who have been waiting for this day for a very long time. That circle you stand on, Blue One, is the last gateway to a forgotten realm. There, you will find a people lost in time and history. The elves of old. That is the gateway, Galadrim. It requires a key to activate.
Kind of key.
I'm guessing it wouldn't be convenient enough to be a teleportation spell to get the key to work now.
The key lies within the Truth Gate.
Another trial.
No. Truth Gate must not be entered by anyone.
Then how are we supposed to get the key?
How indeed?
Start making notes of the circle I'm on in my book.
Okay.
There was some mention that Cain had something to do with this circle. Is that right?
Cain tried to activate it. He failed.
Oh.
I have a very specific purpose. All of my kind does. We are created with a single aspect, a single objective. Mine is to guard the final doorway to Galadrim and Galabrimbor, the Truth Gate. I was created by the one known as Gond. The Truth Gate was created by the one known as Tyr with the aid of Gond. It is a place that connects directly with the essence of Tyr, the divine realm, where you would face a truth that would change the path of a creature's soul forever. This can mean multiple things to each individual. If one was to enter this realm seeking an answer to a question that cannot be answered, they would see how their reality would come true. If one was to enter with no purpose, great truth will be presented for that individual that would fundamentally change them forever.
So we have to enter the Truth Gate with the key in mind to open it.
Yes.
Or one of us does.
Aye.
However, a warning, and heed it well. The last time the Truth Gate was used, it brought about the coming of a creature you know very well. The first coming of Argoneth millennia ago.
Was the last person to use the Truth Gate?
He was a noble. He sought the gate, had a somewhat simple desire of how to protect the world. Nobody else understood why this led to Argoneth being risen. And none will ever know unless they use the gate. That is why I guard it. This is why Suom guards it. We forbid the use of the Truth Gate, because we understand that toying with a god's creation is not for something of mere mortals to attempt. If you wish to seek the elves, you must find some way to create the key without the use of the Truth Gate.
Is there any kind of check that could be done to try and establish what that may mean?
Make of it as you wish, as you see fit.
I take out my thieves' tools and say, well, these are a pretty good key for most things.
They try.
I definitely go and try, because I've been told I can.
Definitely a 14.
Is there even a lock that I could possibly insert them into?
You start poking the circle. Ting, 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 ting. Nothing seems to happen.
Ah, damn.
Fiona, what were you inciting?
Maybe a bit more information that Ashoshka maybe wasn't giving us. Like, she seemed kind of vague, and I was maybe inciting whether she had more to say.
You can't really tell. She knows, just the sheer presence that you get from her suggests that she knows a lot.
Yeah.
Arri, what are you arcaning?
The teleportation circle.
It's a teleportation circle.
Yeah. Had a feeling I'd be able to guess that much with that roll. Can we put the cat on it? Will that make something happen? It's Lucifer, after all. Surely that's got to be a gateway.
What, the white cat?
No, that your cat is called Lucifer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there that, I mean, I don't particularly like this term for us, but Edgar and his followers has called us the key pretty much most of the way. Maybe if we all stand on the circle and hold hands like some hippie thing.
You are the key to Argoneth, not to Galablimbo.
Yeah, this could just be an elaborate trap to get us to release Argoneth early.
This is really Argoneth seal. It's like, damn, pulled again.
Haha!
Suom pulls his face off. It's fucking Edgar.
No,
Thing's
the
just
Sphinx
like-
pulls his face off.
Just collapses away.
It's Edgar getting a piggyback ride from Jace and Garrick.
God damn it!
Like fucking Team Rocket style.
So I'm going to
To
grab
protect the world. Sorry.
I can't now.
To protect the world, protect our world from devastation.
So I'm going to grab Melody's journal out and see if there's anything in there for a start.
Well, as you pull out the journal, you do notice that one of the things on display is in fact a very similar journal to hers. You get the feeling it's one of the earlier editions that she had to rewrite in this journal that you carry now.
I'm definitely going
Oh,
to pick up
because
that
there's
journal.
a bunch of fucking shit around the room, isn't there?
I mean, valuable artifacts.
Yeah. I mean, the one that got pointed out was,
Gauntlets.
Eleanor's gauntlets.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I'm kind of ignoring it at the moment.
Fair.
Maybe you're supposed to punch your way through this seal.
Bah, bah, bah.
It'll be
Like Minecraft digging.
It'll be this party's version of having like a keychain with like 500 keys on it and trying them all one after the other.
But if you hold all the keys together, they make a giant key, and you just done. Whoa.
What films you've been watching?
So the final journal that we've got, can I pick up the other journal and just see if make sure it's the same first of all?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. There are a few variations in the words, because she had to rewrite the whole thing several times, which you can tell was a source of frustration for her. But this generally tells the same thing.
Okay, I'll put the main one away. I'm going to read this one instead because it sounds better because she was writing it in the moment rather than trying to regain it. So I'm going to ask both, what has the Colossuses got to do with this?
Oshoska, do you know of what she speaks?
The Colossuses. They are forever connected to Argoneth. When the war was raging, Argoneth reached out to me and my kind, and we listened and we did not know what we were doing. Suom here saved me, brought me back. It was the last time I saw my mate, Andromeda. He was able to utilize that power because of a primal energy. The same primal energy that the Colossuses used to create the world. I do not understand it completely, but I do understand that if Argoneth was to reunite with the Colossuses, it would be the end of everything. Not just the material realm. He would smash the divine gate down, expose all the realms to each other in a pandemic of madness.
Well, that is just fucking awesome. Rennas, Verity, Arrabella, Korgrin. Something you want to admit to?
No.
What do you mean? I mean, we
So-
touched some orbs in the ice caves.
Yeah.
Sucked up some juice from
I
the...
don't think you need to admit to that. I thought you were all there.
Didn't I mean the Colossi? Colossuses?
Colossi.
Colossi.
They were not. That was not the energy of the Colossuses. I can see it within you. You were given the keys to enter their realms. For yourself, Master Dwarf, I can see the realm of Mechanus lies within you. For yourself, Master Rennas, I can see the astral plane lies within you. For yourself, Madam Arrabella, I can see the realm of Sune within you. And yourself, Verity, I can see the realm of Gond within you.
Neat.
You were given keys, often known as focus keys or even divine keys.
That rings a bell.
If you had the ability to travel amongst planes, these are planes that you would be able to go to. Because the
Hey, I can
keys
do that
are embedded inside of you.
at some point.
So, Arri, there's still hope for the cupcake.
They treat to go.
Just thinking that. So I think I go get another cupcake, yes.
So what encouraged you to develop the ability to travel between planes?
That'll
Cakes.
take me a long time. I am going to have to go. I am shattered, guys. So
No, actually, well, we're going to call it a night there, actually.